We're not starting
of
the
doing.
show with an argument every single week after week.
Dana, that's fine, but
Did
I
we
think
start?
that this is good for communication in couples and people who are married or in dating relationships. This is a healthy way to have a discussion about something that bothered one of the parties. So we're communicating. And you said, I have other stuff that I have so much stuff I have to do today. Well, one of those things I would think would be a very big priority would be this podcast. And you saying that, you're bringing energy like, is this podcast not as important as the other stuff that you have to do?
Triggered.
Yep.
Someone's triggered.
Yes, and that's why we're communicating. So it's weird to say that because like, you'll be fine. You're going to get the stuff done.
In my face.
But
Thanks, Mark.
But you don't want to be worried about getting stuff done when you're doing some of those stuff that you have to get done. Would you agree?
Yes.
Thank you.
I will say whatever I have to say to end this conversation. So what do you need me to say so we can move on?
And that is gaslighting. Is that not, Mark?
Not at all.
Oh.
That is deflection.
That is deflection.
Michael, hey, Michael,
Why are you
you're right.
deflecting?
Hey, Michael, you're right and I'm wrong.
That's not what I want. That is not fulfilling me. That isn't fulfilling me. And because now it's like, we're not communicating and growing. Listen, they're going to look smaller today regardless. So stop trying. Oh, Jesus. That's so mean. They're going to hate me for that comment.
No, but I'm wearing a Fabletics one piece and it's really cute and it's really flattering, but you don't need to wear its built-in bra support. So
Are you going to clip this and send this to the comp?
company? Yeah.
Now,
Okay, Michael, this,
whoa.
Wait, if I can interject on this,
Yes.
like she is,
Yeah.
if and when you ever get married
Yes.
and
Big F.
and she goes, you know what? You're right. Take the W. You will not get that very often.
I don't
And-
want
and-
to. I
and-
don't
but
want
the
to
fact is-
forfeit. I don't want to forfeit.
But the fact that you can't even accept the win, that person who's coming, she is going to tell you that is what you need growth on.
Can I disagree with you? Because now we are passing over a bigger situation when I'm trying to grow as a couple and communicate.
You're not growing if you can't accept the win.
No,
Yeah,
I
accept.
hold on. You'll agree
You're
with me on this.
choosing to actively fight.
No. You're seeing
He
it.
loves to start the show fighting.
Dana,
It's-
Dana, let's not get off board. I want to stay on this. I think this is very important. I think what you're saying, I think that's how you view it. And I think that's actually wrong. And I'm going to explain if you guys let me get that out.
You're going to mansplain it?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna explain. You're saying accept the win. That would be like if Dana complained, like let's say hold on, let me get my word off. I'm saying if you were in a conversation with your
word
loved one.
off? I'm sorry.
I think
Get your word off.
Here's the thing. I think we're sitting. Listen, you want this to be a successful dating podcast. I think we're on an actual valuable subject matter right now that would be good to talk about and point out a situation that is relatable to people and people could have an opinion on. So I think it's good as a team that we all sit here and value that situation right now. And that being said, if you were in a relationship, not Dana and I, and Dana was upset about something I did, and she's communicating it to me, and I went, "You're right, I'm wrong." Taking the win is a bad idea. You're not articulating.
But here's the thing: is that you're choosing to fight. She is actually admitting fault and saying, "You know what? I was wrong."
Mark,
I'm
if that
here
was
to-
what she was really doing, but in the bit of the moment, she was saying it clearly as, let's just move on.
You're only seeing it surface deep.
No, you are. That's the problem. And I'm trying to get you to see what he's doing. She was doing it. Ask her right now. Weren't you doing that as a bit to be like, Michael, you're right. You're going on. I'm saying in this situation, not this one, in a real relationship, if that's what you did, you would be pushing over the deeper issue instead of articulating what was bothering to get to the point and making the relationship better.
Are your
Would you
feelings
agree?
really hurt?
And,
No, it's not about feelings. About I'm more
her-
arguing
and
with him
Michael?
about how I think what he said is actually wrong.
and that was gaslighting.
No, I think what he was saying was actually wrong.
You're right.
Would you agree? Do you
I
see what I'm
don't
saying?
know what's happening right
Okay,
now.
forget.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Okay, forget about. All right, when you were saying, when I was like, "Oh, you're late," and you go, "You're right, Michael. I'm wrong." You were doing that as a bit, correct?
I wasn't late. I got the times confused.
Dana, forget about our situation. It's a joke. Get past that. I'm talking about the actual situation. When you were doing that, you were doing it as a joke, correct? Like when I was saying, "Oh, you're wrong," and you went, "Michael, you're right. You were doing a joke, correct? Yes or no?"
I'm really
I'm asking a simple question.
yeah, but I'm also just I don't care enough. So I'm like, you're
Dana-
right. Let's move on.
Okay, thank you. I'm not honing in on us. I'm making a point about couples in general. So yes, so there you go. So she was, yes, you're right. I want to move on. That's not healthy if you were in a
She
marriage.
didn't exactly agree to that right there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, but forget about our situation. I'm talking about if you were in a relationship with a man,
Yes.
okay, and you guys and something bothered you in the relationship.
And he goes, okay, you're right. I'm
Yes.
wrong. Yeah, that would piss me off.
But don't you think that's also unhealthy that he's doing that instead of taking a win, like he said? That's not healthy for a relationship.
Oh no, but you're thinking
That's what
that,
I'm
but-
articulating.
So what she was doing was it? Were you patronizing him?
Yeah, I was. A little
Okay,
bit.
that's fine.
But
then.
that was
Yeah, yeah.
obvious.
Okay,
so
then
that's why I
but
got
that-
heated to say to you, Mark, that's wrong. I mean, Audie, was that so hard to
Fine, you're
obviously that
right.
I was pointing out?
No one really knows why you're mad though. Like no one knows why you're upset.
I think we just found out. It wasn't that I was upset. I was more upset that you guys weren't identifying, like, we have a good subject here. That's a great topic for a dating podcast. The fact that you would take a win is a bad idea.
Yeah, but I would say taking a win if she was actually sincere.
Yeah. It would be my tone would have to be different. My tone would be like, okay,
100%.
Michael, you're
Because-
right. I'm wrong.
Because
Let's
she's
move on.
choosing to like pick a battle, and
I
this
agree.
isn't that battle.
No, so it's different. If she was sincere with the apology, I agree, take the win. But in that situation, which we saw clearly, if that was a real thing in a real couple relationship, you don't want to do
then
that.
I read her different than you did.
Well, then you're bad at reading people.
Well, I mean, I didn't. Her face was pointed at you.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to We Should Date. I'm Dana Moon. This is Michael Lenoci, and this is exactly why we should not date. Mark, off camera. Mark, you already heard him. Hi, Mark.
Hi.
See, we got an intro.
I think it was a great subject.
We got an intro, baby.
I think as a team, this is, let's speak openly. I think when something comes up and we think it's relatable, I think we should hone it and talk about it and not go, I don't care, let's move on from this. Isn't this what the podcast is about?
It is.
Shouldn't we learn about how to communicate and
We
make
should.
relationships better? She's
Yeah.
patronizing me again. I'll walk off and then you could do it by yourself.
You know what I was thinking about the other
Nothing,
day?
because you don't think.
Oh, burn, got me. I was in Marshall's and I was shopping and I was thinking of Michael, which is also very strange. But I was like, if Michael and I actually got married and had kids, we would have the most dysfunctional family and marriage because we would have the same childhood. We would create the same childhood for our children that we had as kids because we would just be screaming at each other. Because we yell at each other on the phone. And half the time we're joking, but half the time we're actually like really frustrated with each other and we're yelling at each other. And I was like, I think I got off the phone with you and I was shopping at Marshall's and I was like, oh my God, this is why we can never get married.
Do you think that
Because we would have kids, they would be 3 years old or 4 years old, and they'd be like, why is mommy yelling at daddy? Why is daddy yelling at mom?
why
Like,
is mommy a different personality for the 5th time this week? I think, yeah, that would be a lot of the issues.
United States of Dana.
Yeah.
why is mommy wearing a different wig?
Why is mommy a boy today?
Why does she have a goatee on her face walking around
Yeah.
talking in a deep
but
voice?
it would be me yelling.
No, this is why we can't get married.
Oh,
Because
yeah, that's why.
We would scream at each other. And I promised myself.
No soft eyes right now, Mark, huh?
I
I
promised
found out
myself-
who she's got softer eyes for. That made me laugh today.
What? What?
Mark asked me a question.
What are you saying, Mark?
I'm
Tell me
working-
right now. Is that another?
tell
Oh, no.
You're saying another?
I'm not going to say the name. But
Another comedian?
I'll say the name.
I asked her a question. I said, if you had the gun to your head,
Wait, my other we'll say male comedian that I'm working with on another project.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark knows him. Mark's friends with him. Go ahead, Mark.
I said, gun to your head, you have to date one. She was like, oh, I would definitely sleep with him and then date Michael.
Oh, sleep and then date Michael? Oh, that's more of a compliment. Thank you. I don't care about
I'd
that.
much rather want to.
I'd much rather sleep with every other woman in this world, but I'd rather date Dana. Yeah, I don't
Why
care. I'll
wrong?
take that. That's way more of a compliment. It means like they actually genuinely like the person. Sleeping with someone is just to get a fix.
No, I genuinely like. I just want to say I genuinely like the other guy, but I know like
You and me would have more fun together.
no,
Traveling the
yeah.
world,
He's
raising
just more,
a family.
He's just more
I could get your rocks off. Not as good.
protective.
Insecure, would you say?
No, he's not insecure. He's just more like of the jealous type.
Is
Can
he?
I-
He must sounds younger then. A
I'm
lot younger
surrounded
than
by
me?
Gemini. He's a Gemini. You're a Gemini. Oh
Is
God,
he younger?
I'm surrounded by Geminis.
No, you're not.
So
Yes,
many
she is.
Geminis. Mark.
Older?
Mark,
Interesting.
it's time for your.
Is he a stand-up?
Let's move on. It's time for Mark's marriage check-in.
Is he funny?
He's actually hilarious.
He's so
Oh,
funny.
really?
And
He's
it-
like
but-
the most
but
talented guy.
He's
I've-
super talented.
yeah. He's like he's a genius.
He's his own worst enemy.
He's brilliant.
I
And
need-
he's hot.
After the podcast, I want to know.
He's hot. My mom keeps asking why I'm not.
That's hilarious.
And I'm
That's
like,
even
I'm not,
better.
Mom, I'm not dating. Like, I work with these guys. Like, I can't combine. Anyways, back
But
to
that's like kind of what you do. You date people that are in the work and in the business.
what's that smile? I don't like it.
I'm
Stop
just
it.
recapping like the way we started this podcast
New
and
smile.
like how I was just like I was really annoyed that you didn't understand what I was trying to articulate.
You have a Mr. Potato Head smile, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop. Do different smile.
Is it unattractive?
Yeah, it's
to you?
really creeping me out, Michael.
Why? I'm having
No, I
fun.
don't like it. I can't look at you.
Do I not look like the other guy you're attracted to? Okay, but hold on.
Let's get back to the structure of the show because we have structure, and this is a show.
All right, Mark, are you anywhere closer to maybe thinking about something else in your dating life? Are you still married?
I'm still married.
Any updates on the?
Have you had sex yet?
No. But hold on.
It's been 3 weeks, no sex?
Longer?
Oh, 2 months.
2 months and 1 week.
But had a good
Michael dies on the podcast.
had a good weekend. We went up to the mountains.
Oh,
Took the dog out.
did you guys like? Are you guys okay? Like you communicating?
Yeah. Fine.
Michael's so worried.
It would be like
We made
what
we
ki-
made a night out of like making lasagna from scratch. And we were like, all right, have fun.
in between.
easy
Did
stuff.
you jerk off into the pasta?
Always.
Dude, it would just be what an interesting podcast is. Like every episode go like, you. What's crazy about this podcast and why I love the guy off screen got divorced by episode 30.
Oh, Michael. Don't put that out there in the universe. Cancel clear.
Okay.
I mean, he's been trying to get me to divorce my wife for like 5 years now.
yeah, so I
5
can get a
years.
piece of him.
Why? Wait, that's actually weird.
No, it's a bit.
Why don't you want him to be happy and married?
I do want him to be happy. I just worry sometimes because he comes in here with like, it's been 4 months since I've had sex. Anyways, how's everyone else doing? Is everyone
Oh.
in lust?
Well, Michael is in lust. Michael had a big weekend. With
Remember?
Ki-
Do you
can I
remember?
say?
what
Oh, I
happened?
remember you had this girl. You were flying in a girl, so it's like a little sex trafficking. But
Yeah.
yeah,
She paid for part of the flight, so
Okay.
it's not fully.
She paid for like $50 of the flight. He should have just paid for the whole
Oh,
flight.
she paid for, like-
so she paid
she
for her
paid-
checked
she-
baggage
No, she paid for
Yeah.
40%.
because he wouldn't fly her out on Southwest.
I mean, pay for the whole ticket.
I don't think so. I
Michael.
think spending $1,000 this weekend is more than a generous weekend, and staying at my place. I think I did a lot.
You didn't even get a hotel for the.
No, my first of all, my place is just as nice as a hotel with my new sheets from Brooklinen. Thank you guys, Dana.
That was. What do you
So
mean? Thank you
comfortable.
guys. That was me.
Yeah, but Brooklinen too. Thank you to them
Yeah.
too. This episode's brought to you by
Brooklinen. The sheets that
Okay,
matter.
Clear your cum.
Come off.
All right, so but are we just gonna get straight into that because didn't you have a thing?
I had it. My thing's not as interesting as your thing. You're living it up.
Oh yeah, we were gonna talk. That's when we get into open relationships later on in the episode because that was what this week is about. But you did have
Single parents is what
a
the-
single parents. I'm
we have
sorry.
a topic
Last
and
week
it's
was
single
open
parent.
relationships. No, so I think I had a good time. It was a 36-hour bender, not bender. We didn't like of speed dating.
Love bombing bender.
It's not.
Can
Now
I-
here's the thing about love bombing. We've discussed it before, but like I'm not doing this to manipulate. So we agreed that's what love bombing was, correct?
Right.
What's your worries, Dana?
I don't
Speak
have any
freely.
worries. Look, we already had this conversation, but I'm going to fill everyone else in. Michael wanted to know why I thought it was weird that she lives on the East Coast and flew here for one day.
2 days.
No, she flew in Friday night at 9 p.m. and then she flew back Sunday morning.
She did not fly back Sunday morning.
Sunday at
That's
what?
so short.
11
Sunday after-
a.m.
No.
Well, to be fair, if she's
messaged me-
going East Coast, she
It was
has
2
to leave in the
p.m.
morning.
You messaged me
It's-
at
she
11
was-
a.m. when
late
I was
flight.
like,
we had a whole we did a lot of activities Sunday.
okay.
So we had a whole day Sunday. So
I
that's
think
what I was
that's
explaining to you.
I think that's crazy to fly someone in and spend that much money to just spend one day and one morning with them. Like for me, what I told Michael was
2
like,
nights and 2 mornings.
Well,
just
since
look.
you guys dated, like he's in a new tax bracket, so he can do what he wants.
We never technically dated, but Michael, I was just saying he should wait until the end of the month when he planned to go to the East Coast and
which
like
would
have
only
a
be
vacation.
for 3 days. Which would only be 1 extra day. So my whole thing is like, what's the big deal that?
It's a lot for her.
He's
To
going
fly
out there
out.
for work.
No, I'm not.
Oh, never mind.
But my whole thing is she's stuck on the time frame of how long this girl is. Why does that matter?
Because
What does it
such
matter
a
if it-
long flight for one day.
That's her personal preference.
Okay.
That's for you. It is. So that's why I'm like, why are you so hung up on that when that has nothing to do with what the whole picture is about? That's why it doesn't make sense to me.
I just thought
So
it was
you-
crazy.
wait.
I thought it was a little crazy.
So Dana, but that's what's weird. You keep saying it's crazy, but if she was here for 3 days, then it's not crazy. That's what I don't understand. So you're just hung up on the hours that
Yeah.
she spent
well,
here.
hold on.
Don't you think that's weird?
Dana, you live in Los Angeles. Great guy. Oh, sorry. Lives in Miami. Was like, hey, can I fly out for the weekend?
And you're not going because it's 2 days and not 3. You're only going if it's at least 3.
If he invites me and he like,
And you couldn't because you had work, and you're like, I can come Friday night, but I have to leave by Sunday night.
I would say to him, let me come when I can like actually spend a minimum of 3 days.
But so then you're gonna wait. You're gonna go. Well, now we got to do more phone calls and stuff for a few more weeks, and not know.
You're just
why-
impatient with love.
I disagree. I
You
think if it was
are.
okay, fine. Let's say you're true, and that is the case in town. But in this
I'm
situation,
true. You
why
mean,
would
right?
it? Right. In this situation, why wouldn't we just get it over with to see if there is a thing? What does that matter if we have to continue
Get
the long
it over
distance?
with. That's a really weird way to look at a relationship.
Okay, fine.
Let's
You
get
don't
it
like the
over with.
wording of it, but if I want to know if there's a connection with this person so that I want to choose to waste time with, what if so how long would you go long distance phone call without meeting someone then?
Why are you getting like angry?
Because you're not like you're looking at it from a closed-minded perspective of
No,
yourself.
I'm not. It's
You're
realistic.
not hearing, but you're not listening to like how I'm explaining it. That's why it's frustrating, because you're sitting here saying, why not wait 3 weeks to do something that we just did, but for an extra day? So I'm trying to understand how that makes sense.
Because you told me you were already going to go to Miami at the end of the month. And you
So now I
planned on seeing her.
So now I get to see her after already knowing I like her. Now how is that not better?
Just wait if you already have the trip planned, is what I was thinking.
Just wait. So then, I have a trip to go to Miami in May. Should I just wait for that and not go in March? Like that logic doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to understand it. I really am. That logic, I don't
personally-
understand that
The
logic.
logic for me is like, I personally would not get on a flight with the time change to the East Coast and a 5-hour flight plus a layover. That's a 9-hour
So
travel
again,
day.
you're making this personal for your preferences.
Yeah, I think it's, look, am I entitled to my own opinion?
100%.
That's what's going on. I'm expressing my opinion. I personally would not do a 9-hour travel day to meet a guy that I don't know, that I've never seen, and spend 36 hours with him to then do another 9-hour travel day. That's 18 hours of travel to see a guy for 36
What's
hours.
a 9-hour travel day?
Flying
It's
to
a
the
5-hour
East Coast?
flight. Yeah.
They got direct flights.
Yeah, it's a 5-hour flight.
Okay, so 2 hours before the airport. What do you mean? I mean, you add all the
Gets to
hours
the
up.
airport 2 hours. It's not an international
All
flight.
right, but fine. I don't want to get hung up on the time thing because, but here's the thing.
I wouldn't
You're
do
picking
it.
two different things. Now you're going back to the travel day. You just said, oh, you're moving too fast. It's a long distance thing. I think the whole point is, hey, we've talked for 3 weeks. Let's meet and see if this connection is real.
Okay.
If it is real, then we know that we should.
You know what's more interesting
Okay.
is you telling us about your weekend with her.
Okay, so here's another problem. Why do you want to get over this situation that we're not agreeing on? Again, let's try to communicate and agree on something, though.
What?
Why do you want to pass over this to get on? Otherwise, it's just going to be like annoying and not fun.
Okay.
I'm for real.
I'm telling you what I think, and you think something different. So,
But instead
How
of
are we
like
gonna get on
hearing
the same page?
instead of hearing out what I want and the people listening because they don't have the backstory, you just know what you know because we talk off the phone. We're on a show, so let's get all the points out so other people can form an opinion.
This is
like
a show?
Mark.
I didn't know it.
This
Is
is
that what-
this is a heavy episode.
Is that with the microphones in front
This
of
is
me?
a heavy episode.
Wait, hold on. I'm on a show, Michael. If you didn't say that, I wouldn't have known.
Mark, as a mediator,
And a medium, because he talks
as
to
a
spirits.
mediator, talking to a girl long distance. Oh, I could come to Miami in March. Cool. Why don't you come this weekend?
Wait,
Cool.
your anger issues on this podcast is you've been triggered like 4 times, and we're not even like 30 minutes in.
We're 20 minutes in and I've gotten pissed off the whole time. I've been pissed this whole episode.
Wait, Michael Anochi is always pissed. That's
Yeah.
the name of your next album.
Michael's pissed.
Because I think that you're just like annoying. It's annoying that you
I'm
like
annoying because I have a different perspective.
I'm
than
fine
you.
with your perspective, but they're not lining up. You keep having two different things. I just want consistency in your argument. Like that's all.
Why
You can't say it's the timing of the flight. Nope. Why not go see her if you were already going to go see her?
It's all
that
of
doesn't
it,
make
Michael.
sense.
It's all of it.
But-
I'm trying to
but it doesn't
explain.
explain it and make it make sense.
I'm explaining.
and then I want him to talk and give his
I'm-
opinion.
I'm explaining to you every single aspect of it from my personal standpoint. I would not do a trip across the country to meet a guy for
Again,
36
you
hours.
keep saying your personal. Explain to me as a broad outside perspective without your feelings of traveling. What's the problem with it then? Without the traveling, you're saying I wouldn't want to fly and
It's
do this.
okay. It's
That's
too
different.
short. It's too short of a time to. I've said it in so many different ways. Like, how do you not understand it?
I'm
It's
still asking.
one day. It doesn't. It's like
so
one
then
week.
I'm articulating this. How is? Oh, wait, what if she came this past weekend and I was like, oh, we didn't connect, and I saved myself from going back to Miami a couple times? Isn't that a benefit then?
I think. If
Yes
you,
or no?
No. I think if you would have kept talking to her and you were going to go to Miami at the end of the month, then you would get an idea by the end of the month if this was
So
a
here's
yes or no.
the confusion. I think you think I have a trip planned to Miami anyways. First, start talking. Hear me out. It's been 1 week. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. I go, oh, let me look at my schedule. I could come in March. Then we're talking. I go, unless you can come this weekend. She's like, yeah, I can come the weekend. So I'm trying to understand what's the difference. If I went March or she came this weekend, neither of you act like we had the trip planned in March.
The
That was just a
difference-
time I could come, and I was going to come in Sunday night and then leave Tuesday morning. Instead, I go, unless you could come to LA, and she's like, I could come Friday night this weekend and leave Sunday afternoon. What's the difference? It's the same situation. It just was sooner than later.
Right.
But either way, we
In
still
my
talked for
mind-
3 weeks.
In my mind, I thought you had the trip at the end of the month planned, and I thought the trip was work and going to be longer. So I was like, why don't you just
No,
wait
it
till
wasn't
we-
work, and it was just a little longer. But also, I'm still gonna go now. Yes, because I've
Okay.
also met her, and there was a connection. So I just don't. That's the part I didn't understand why that would matter. And then I was like, unless he has a point that I'm not seeing.
No, I'm fine with it. If you wanted to meet her earlier and you had the time and the means,
It's not
I mean,
that big of a
granted,
deal.
like more time would have been great.
That's what I'm
But-
saying.
Of
That's what I'm
course.
saying.
But
It's
you're
too short.
dealt the hand you're dealt. Like,
Yeah.
spending some time is better than no time.
Right. Okay, so Mark and I are kind of on the same page because I think
Hold on.
Because
what?
I think
Look at his face. I think he's on the same page as me. Don't just spin this around like you were correct.
my whole thought process, and I feel like I just keep repeating myself, and I'm so sick of this.
Oh, God forbid.
It's crazy to fly out for one day and do all that travel.
I you know what's really
And I'm
going
going
to
to
piss
stand
me
by
off?
that.
It's not one day. Stop saying that.
She was here Saturday.
All day Saturday. From the beginning of Saturday to the end of Saturday. So that's one full day.
She flew in Friday night and she left Sunday at noon.
She did not leave Sunday at noon.
You texted me at the gym. I was at the gym at noon. You're like, I'm heading to the airport.
Oh, cool. Well, guess what? So I was with her till 1 p.m. Her flight was not at noon. If her flight was at noon, then I would have been with her till 10 a.m.
Okay, she was here for. Why can't you just like let this go? This is so aggressive.
There's no soft eyes today.
Yeah.
This
Hey,
is so aggressive.
How is it aggressive?
It's like, hey, guess what? I wouldn't travel across the country to see a guy for one day. I wouldn't do it. I would have to have more time. It doesn't seem right.
So, Michael, how was it? Was it fun?
Yeah.
Well,
Did
it
you have
doesn't
sex?
matter. No. We did everything else because she wanted to like wait. So I respected it and I didn't.
You spent
Yeah.
12.
Leave her.
$1,200. Not kidding. Fucking not coming. Am I Steve Carell now?
You're my sister. You literally
How
are
the
the same as my
fuck?
sister.
Did you spend? You spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
You bought brand new sheets that were $400. You didn't even get to fuck on them.
Wait. Did you
Loser?
wait? Did you buy sheets for this weekend?
Yeah.
Loser. Gay. Virgin. Okay. Oh my God. Wow. That is. We were not expecting that. We were not expecting that.
We cuddled naked the whole weekend and did everything else. I came
Mm-hmm.
a couple times. So that's fun. But that's, you know, she wants to not feel used. She wants to make sure like it's real. She's a wholesome girl.
Mm-hmm.
I actually respect her more for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen,
Careful.
I just wanted to give you shit.
Careful.
I wanted to give Michael shit, but I am all about waiting. I have a rule, a 3-day rule, maybe a 4-day rule.
You have a 4-day rule?
Here's what I'm going to ask you next. You fly to Miami the end of this month,
Mhm.
and she's not putting out.
Oh, hey, she better. As she watches this episode, because I said I was going to talk about it. Hey, she better.
Okay. Right.
Well, I mean, you guys.
No pressure.
Should
Okay,
we hug? Should we hug?
Me and you?
Yeah.
Do you need a hug?
Do I need a hug? Do you need a
Yeah,
hug?
Michael, you need a hug. I do have to say it was
Someone commented today about like my
What?
emotion. What did he say? There's a comment on one of the posts. I have noticed since watching episode 1 or something, Michael does have some like walls up or something.
Dana's right. All I saw was Dana's right, and I was like, yes.
I was like, what? I'm like
Wait, I
literally
made that comment, I think, on week 1 where I was like, Michael has walls up all around him.
His walls are so deep he doesn't even know.
All right, here.
He's like, he tries to ask us to tell him.
Entrenched.
Here, this is it right here. He goes, I agree with Dana about Michael having his guard up knowingly, unknowingly, and the big bothering comment.
Knowingly, unknowingly. What does that mean?
And then he
So
goes,
you know
and
it
the
and you
big
don't know
bothering
it?
comment. He goes, I noticed that from y'all's at first episode. Not trying to attack or come at you, Michael. Just noticed it. I'm a fan of your comedy.
You know what would be funny if we have an
I
episode?
was going to say, have they ever seen your comedy? Like,
What's my guard up about knowingly and unknowingly, but about the big bothering comment? What's the big bothering comment?
I think it was from like 2 episodes ago. But I think it'd be funny if we had an episode where we just read all of the comments of people picking sides, because people pick sides.
We could put them
People
up.
either hate Michael and love me, or they love me and they hate Michael.
Well, I
Would
Can I
you
move-
say
Can I
it's-
move this?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Would
to
you
touch
say
it.
that it's 50-50?
I would say it's
Say it into
75.
the microphone.
I would say it's 75-25.
well,
75 you?
70 me, 30 Michael. I changed it.
well,
70-30.
just for people who are a fan of this podcast, that
But do you
is-
feel
is-
like the intelligent people are on your side?
Yes. No, my side. Oh, you're talking to Michael.
you think that the emotionally intelligent?
I don't want to get into this on this
sane
episode.
people-
We have a topic.
I will say that we have a relationship therapist coming on next week, so we're going to need a third cam.
Sure.
We're gonna. Ooh, that's gonna be.
If there's a way to still have Mark on camera, that would be great. But I
We'll
mean,
have
on
a-
mic, that would be great.
Yeah.
If not,
It's
not.
easy.
Yeah, he's coming in, and he's a relationship therapist.
It's
I-
a guy.
A guy, which I'll ask. I'll be like, do you want to be on camera or off camera? We'll see. But
Ooh, a guy relationship coach.
well, that's well.
What do they
If you have
know?
problems with it, look, this is something to bring up. She goes, by the way, for you, just so you know, when I said you were a guy, she goes, ew, a guy, guy.
What?
Huh?
Who said that?
Yeah, see.
I never said that.
All
You're
right.
making that
So
up.
can we? I want to go back to you thinking that should we talk about what happened this weekend, or do you want to move on from it already?
What happened with me this weekend?
No, so sometimes she has a hard time staying on points that we were talking about.
I have ADD.
Mhm.
I feel like. What did
The
we
whole
not-
point of the conversation before the argument was,
Mhm.
how was the weekend?
And it was good.
Okay, yeah, it was good. You want to just move on?
Cool.
What? Am I missing something? What's going on?
Yeah, he was like, so did you want to tell us about this weekend?
Yeah.
And you were like, all right, so we have this like,
Tell us about the weekend.
do you actually care?
I do.
Are you jealous?
I'm not jealous. Do you want me to be jealous?
He does a little. You know it.
Do you?
Michael.
Oh, nope. Not that voice. Not on Love is Blind. Nope.
Michael.
Oh,
How dare you? I have another woman. My jealous voice. Michael, I'll do it again.
what? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna let you lead this podcast, and I'm just gonna be here to respond. Because this episode, which I learned from her this weekend, she would be like, you listen to wait for your response. And
When did I say that?
She said that. See, well, she clearly does the same thing.
Who's
you literally
she?
didn't.
Nailed it.
Oh my God, Mark. Can you take over for this? She just goes, who's she? Can you take over for this? Because she's just not even listening. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Are you doing this on purpose? Are you really trying to piss me off? Or are you actually don't know and now you're taking the role of trying to piss me off because you don't want to come off as stupid?
We all know I'm way more intelligent than you.
One of the things she said to me this weekend. Do you not know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, but why is your tone like that? I hate that. Don't
Because
talk
of
to
the
me like
way
that.
you responded.
Don't
like,
talk to me like that. New tone and go. New tone.
how is this episode coming off?
Bad
Do you think so?
from you.
Do you think that people are going to unsubscribe?
Well, I don't know. Just change your energy.
Mark?
It's definitely an intense episode.
Because of Dana.
Because if you're so emotional today.
Maybe my dopamine's off because I had
You're
an
crashed.
electric- What?
Mhm. You're crashing right now.
Yeah.
You spiked. You were on a high this weekend and then you crashed. Please continue with what you're saying though.
Well,
Yeah,
it
tell us
doesn't-
about the,
She
tell us
said-
about the weekend. Yeah. She said.
that was one thing I learned from her, and I thought that was really valuable. And I thought that maybe I'll use
But
that.
what did
on
she
this
say?
episode.
Go back, recap us since we got off topic so hard.
I kind of feel like it's not as fun to talk about after what we just went through.
Okay.
With us,
Okay, but
as a group.
but you're
I'm not
starting in the middle of
excited to-
Act 2. I need you to go back and say,
I'm
"Hey,
just not excited to talk about it anymore because it was just like it became not fun for a
now
little
you're
bit.
being comfortable. You're putting up walls right now."
Well, it's just how do I talk about it?
You
and
you
then-
start by saying, "I had a good weekend,"
I had a good weekend.
and we didn't
He told
because
he
and
told me
then-
that he learned a lot from her, but you didn't say what
Yeah.
you learned.
What did you learn?
Okay, but if I talk about it and I
What
show
did you
vulnerability,
learn?
are you guys going to
You're
attack
deflecting.
me?
No, we're not attacking you. This is a safe space.
It doesn't seem
It's
like
not
one.
a safe space, but yes, go ahead.
He goes, "This is not a safe space." I like the way we talk and communicate, and we get deep and talk about feelings and a lot of aspects of life and relationships and what's important in life and what's important in relationships and why things work and the situation we're in and how it's not ideal and how it's crazy and why do people feel a certain way with each other? Is that normal? Do other people go through this? Is this that insane that we're doing this? But why is it insane? Is it because do we feel this way because there's the distance and that's why we feel,
Ooh.
because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes you think it's less attainable, so you feel stronger towards that person. But then when we're with each other, she's like, I've never been like this before with someone. I don't really have a silly side. Your energy's young and it makes me feel young and it brings out a different side of me that I've never had. And then we talk about that and I was like, oh, I listened to her when she's like, oh, when we talk about like communication things. And one of the things, I don't know why it took so long to realize this, but she said like, she's like, she works with children and stuff and she tutors and stuff. So she's like really patient, but she was like, you listen to wait for when you can respond instead of attentively listening and hearing what they're saying. And then it was like, even with food, like I eat, you know how I eat. She was like,
Oh.
she's like, well, explain to me what you're eating. Like, what is the taste? What is the texture? How does it feel in your mouth? What do you smell? And I was like, I've never thought about food like that in my whole life. I put it in me to be full.
It's sort of like she's like making you a little more present to life.
Correct.
I like this. I really like this
And
for
I
you.
thought it was very valuable. And it was, and then there was times when I talked about stand up and the business and stuff like that. And, I saw the value in a partner outside of sex and emotional
Uh-oh,
love.
Michael's growing up.
Is it nice to see him slow
I
down?
know. I'm loving
His
this.
soft eyes.
Michael. Can I just say, first of all, thank you for sharing that.
Should we move this part to the beginning of the episode so
Yeah,
that
we
people
should.
check in
Yeah.
quicker?
So I think what I'm hearing, I feel like you're like ready for like your person. The way you talk about this.
Ooh, she's going with a bit. Okay.
No, I'm serious.
See the disconnect in the three of us? Like we can't ever pick up when someone's being sincere.
No, I'm really
I
being
believe her.
sincere.
I believe you.
I feel like you're like the way you're talking about her and your experience with her. It makes me feel like, oh, he's ready. It's really sweet.
This is a very emotional episode.
You're very emotional.
I'm feeling insecure about the beginning of the episode.
You
now.
are.
Should we reshoot it or it's
Well,
fine? Leave it in.
I think it's
Why don't you just watch it first and see
watch
how you
it.
feel?
Watch it before.
It's
Oh,
very
no,
electric.
because
It was very electric.
But when I watch it and I see it, I'll laugh at it and think it's funny that I was like that and leave it in.
Yeah, there you go. Or maybe you start with this as a cold open and then go back.
Okay, put a pin
You
in
have
that.
control. You edit everything.
I just don't want to turn people off.
Right. Well, too late.
Enemy on State Lines is this episode. This episode's called The Enemy on whatever.
The enema living inside of me.
Okay.
I
well,
had an interesting weekend. I'll share.
yeah, we care.
So I also don't know if this is correct or not, but
But this is the most I've ever seen Mark engaged in this episode. His energy's great.
energy's great.
Yeah, it's
Keep
really
it.
great. Yeah, keep it up.
I hung out with the person I dated, one of their friends.
Oh, this is good.
Okay.
This
hold
is
on.
And I don't know
Great.
if this is right or wrong. And I
Hold
will,
on. Hold
can
on.
I preface it?
Can I just go back just a hair? So the person you dated, his best friend.
No.
Let me prep. Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
But let me preface
His-
it.
Oh yeah.
It is a girl. After things ended between us, she reached out to me and she's like, I heard the news.
It's his best friend's wife.
Yes.
So it's
but
not his actual best friend, but he
but
is close to that person.
he's close,
like how
very
you're close
close
with your friends' wives. you know.
Very close.
Like
to
my
her.
my best friend AJ, his wife is Kayla. I feel closer to her, and I text her and call her.
Yeah.
Yes, she's one of my best friends.
It's
but
the same thing.
the origin of the friendship is through the guy.
So you didn't go on a
No.
date with
No, but listen, she said specifically, I still want to stay friends with you because we went on a trip
Hot.
together. We hung out a lot. Like we started to develop we genuinely like each other. And that was a really sad part of things ending between us is I was like, I genuinely loved his friends.
That's the hard part about
and I was
losing
like, this
relationships,
something it sucked because I felt like our worlds were combining and it was like so. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. She reaches out. We kept in touch through social media for the past couple of months, and she reaches out and was like, "Hey, do you want to grab a drink or blah blah blah?" And it's one of those things where like I wouldn't be the one to reach out to her and ask because I'm very sensitive to things like this and I don't ever want to like come off as like I'm still infiltrating this person I used to date their life. Like I don't want to be that person. Like that just gives off like icky stalker vibes. But she asked me and I was like, you know what? I was like, yeah, like this would be great. And I was telling Michael, I told Michael a little bit of it. It was really nice and I do really like her. We had a nice time and her fiance came to like pick her up and she's like, say hi to him. And I'm like, I literally, in that moment, I was
that
like,
person was your ex.
No, his
Oh.
friend.
Okay.
See,
I
now
felt-
if I was in the situation Dana was, I would have got so mad at you.
Can I tell you though? I felt like I felt weird. I was like, hey, and I was like, I don't know if this feels right. Like, and then she's like, we need to hang out more, like blah, blah, blah. And part of me is like, and then I also felt sad because I associate her with every time, like the best memories I had with him going on these trips and going to these fun dinners. And it's like the best memories we had were with her. And she also was like, I want you guys to get back together. Like, so anyway, so I feel like
Why did she say that?
now I feel like
That got real weird. Yeah.
Well,
Why?
no,
yeah,
I don't
if you
think it's
wanted to be
weird.
my
I
real
don't-
friend, why bring that up? It almost feels like this is not real. Then you're just doing this
all
to help him.
This sounded
How do I know?
like
how
a
do I
setup, yeah.
trust you?
it's not a setup.
I know it's not, but like
It's really not. Like
I know
he
it's not.
doesn't know.
I had a lot of empathy when you just said that. I felt sad. I felt really bad for you, and I was like, I wish I could be there for her, but I can't now because I'm emotionally attached to someone else.
No, look, I'm an adult. I can take care of my emotions myself. And I also it was a strange night because like my show was in his neighborhood. Like I literally had to park a street over from where he lived. And I was like, this is weird. Like I'm like, I feel like I'm like trying to like get back energy. Like it was just a weird night where I thought,
She's big with energy.
yeah, I just felt like maybe it's not the best move to stay friends with a friend of someone
It doesn't have to be.
you dated.
It doesn't have to be a decision that is yes or no, friends or no. It can just be like, that was fun in the moment. Cool. Maybe I'll see her again. Maybe I won't, but I don't need to make a decision about it.
Yeah,
Can it be like that?
totally. Look, and I really like her and I like she's
So then maybe you could see her again and you tell her what you're feeling.
right.
And then maybe she's like, I totally get it. And you know what? I want to be friends with you. So when we hang out, it's just you and me. No, my guy, no talking about that. Let's start a new bond. Maybe.
Right. Because it felt like very attached to the person I was dating at the time. And I also was just like, oh my God, I haven't felt it's been, I shouldn't be feeling sad.
Do you want to cry? You can't. I think we can cry.
Michael wants to cry so bad, but he won't cry on his own. He needs me to cry with him.
Hey, look, I'm trying and nothing's happening. Look,
You just ejaculate.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
it's
wasn't
like- it's kind of like when you would masturbate before you could ejaculate when you were a kid. It's like,
puff.
You have a similar situation too, don't you?
I did. So the girl I was dating like a year ago, I dated her for a couple months and she's fun. She had a good personality. I had introduced her to some of my friends. They would go drink. And then like one of my best friend's wives, I like her, but she would continue to be friends with her and invite her to these events and they would go out. And I was like, it's a little weird.
The difference though is that your ex reached out to your friends.
Well, they had each other's numbers. Yes,
Who
but
reached out to who?
she did. The ex did.
That's what I think is weird.
So the ex
That's what I
would
won't
reach
do.
out to my friend and be like, "Hey, do you want to come to this event? I need a friend. I want to go have a drink." Da da da. And I go, "That's fine. Maybe they had a connection. They had a friendship. But why would you want to continue to build a relationship with my actual best friend's wife? Fine." She would even hit me up. "You don't care, do you?" I go, "No, do it. I don't care. Whatever." They would do it and it would continue. But then when the ex got engaged and had her new boyfriend, she was like, "We should all go to dinner together." Now it's like, what are you doing? In my mind, I go, is she doing this maliciously to try to get a reaction out of me? Which I don't care that much. And I'm like,
No, she has a new fiance.
still, she had called me on the phone before drunk one time
And said
when they were
what?
dating. I didn't answer.
When they were dating.
Yes, I have proof.
Stop.
And I was like, I didn't care.
Wait, how long into dating?
Who knows? I don't know their dating timeline. In June, like over the summer. But either way, and then I go, "Did you need?" She blamed it on, "Oh, I was with Mark and Fahim, and one of them took my phone and called." I was like, and then I called, and they're like, "No, we didn't." So it's like, I know that was a lie, but also that doesn't matter. But the point is, why would you want your new fiance to meet my best friend? Even why would you want that though? Why would you want that? Even like, do you think that you're going to change them to be like, "We're team you"? Like, you think you're going to erase 25 years of friendship?
No,
Like, that's why I was like, what is going, I go, if you
maybe
want
they
that,
had a real
the
deep
girls,
friendship. The girls.
that's fine. But then why are you involving the guys?
Yeah.
Now you're making my buddy go, "Whatever makes the wife happy." You think he gives a F?
That's a little weird.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
It's weird, right?
Well, she wasn't the most stable person.
But look, now she's getting married and she's happy.
6 months into a relationship. Yeah. Seems really, you think coming here for 36 hours is short. Imagine committing your whole life after 6 months.
Do we even do a topic? Because this.
I mean, we can. I mean, listen. Do you want a hug?
Oh, Michael, you want a hug?
She can't have a hug
After.
because then we're gonna have to put the mic back.
Yeah.
on her.
We'll hug
Yeah.
after. We had a topic for today's episode.
It was going to be
parents.
single parents, but we can move it on to the next episode.
We can move it to the next episode because we're 50 minutes in, and we
We still have some other things to discuss, though.
do. Like what?
I have you question mark? Oh, got you. Oh, that was the.
Oh wow.
We have a lot of yeah.
Is it stupid to pursue something with someone across the country?
I think if you have unlimited funds, no.
It's
I don't think anyone.
difficult because you're
Really?
going to have to spend a large amount of your time relative to try and
On the phone.
get the quality time that you need. Like
Is this,
if they were here, you'd be able to like go on dates and spend time in person and time in person and time in person, really get to know them. You're going to have to spend more of your lifetime trying to get to know this person to the level you want to get to that relationship level that you may want to get to. Does that make sense at all?
But you're from Florida.
and
so
I go,
how-
and I go there often.
But that doesn't. I mean, you're going to, how much quality time,
Well,
like, is there a number of amount of quality time you need to spend with someone to be comfortable, vulnerable, and let yourself connect with that person?
6 months of dating.
So how much in-person time are you going to need to get to that 6 months?
Well, I think the stages would go like this, and I don't know if this is getting too far ahead, but I think it's okay to think about and talk about. Ideally, you would be like, okay, so I'll see you in March, at the end of March, beginning April. Goes great, then I'll see you when you said you could possibly come back to LA, which would be 3 weeks later. That goes great. Well, I'm going to Rufus anyways in Miami. I'll see you in May. That goes great. Then another time. But then by the 6th time, we'd go, what's the ideal here 6 months from now? Are you
Okay,
staying? Then when would you bring up like, well, now we got to figure out, are you willing to move? That would be the discussion you would have to have, right? Otherwise, this is a waste of time.
Could you guys see each other every month for like a week.
Not for a whole week. That's impossible.
Like, could she come here for 5 days?
There could be
You go there for 5 days.
I couldn't go for 5 days. I mean,
Why
I have
not?
this responsibility too.
I think you have to really.
I could maybe.
I think you guys need at least a week per month for 6 months.
Can it not be 3 or 4 days? Does it have to be 5?
It's definitely not one day, according to
Definitely
Dana.
not one day.
I understand, but like I'm saying, so there are times where, all right, maybe when I go, it's like for 3 days, and then maybe the next time she comes, it would be for like 3 or 4 days. Then when I go to Miami, that would be for like 4 days. But we're also doing things. But then after that, you would be like, you would have a better idea of knowing each other and knowing, all right, do we want to commit to the. All right, let's commit to making this a long-term, long distance relationship.
Look,
then.
I think there's ways you can make it work. How long is Miami from where your hometown is? How long is that?
Oh, I mean, well, my sister and father are in Orlando now. That's like 3.5 hours. But
Okay.
like all my friends, I have people all over Florida.
Right. So there's a world where like she can meet you for a weekend when you're traveling. There's a world where she can she stay for like a week?
The problem is we could.
You just need more time together. Like you
Well-
guys need to spend long periods of time together for an extended amount of months to decide if you should commit. And
You don't think you could figure that out off 5 hangouts, 5 weekend-esque 3 to 4 day hangouts? You think it will always be like super exciting and fun, and you're not thinking about that?
I think you will know when you'll know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you need to future trip right now. You're future tripping a little bit.
I prefaced it with, I think it's okay to talk about, but I'm saying eventually you would have to discuss moving. Someone
Yes.
would.
Yeah.
You have to.
6 months.
Yeah.
6 months from now.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. You can have that conversation in 6 months. If we make it to 6 months, we'll have a conversation about
6 months of just going back and forth
Yeah.
once a month.
and
It's a lot of MBing.
MBing.
It's a lot of MBing.
What is that? Masturbating.
It's a lot of MBing.
Well, are you
Gonna,
exclusive?
that wouldn't even be a discussion. Yeah.
You're exclusive right now with her.
No. We've never even talked about that.
You can hit it and
We-
quit it.
That would be something I would have to keep deep down inside, and it would be a secret, and I would never. I'm scared that if I did that, I would lose interest because of my problems.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. We need to go to a 12-step meeting.
I could take 2 steps.
Therapy. You need to talk to a therapist
Why can't I talk to you?
because I'm not a trained professional, which we are having on next week's episode is a trained professional.
I feel emotional.
He's coming down from the anger at
Yeah.
the start of the episode.
Well, no, I think you had like a very exciting weekend.
You know
And
what
then-
else it is? He doesn't have coffee today.
I had coffee already though.
Normally he's got like a
Wait, but
recharge.
Michael, I talked to Michael on Friday. Thursday and Friday, you were like slightly manic because you were so excited that this girl was coming. And I thought he was on Adderall. And he's like, no, I'm just like, I'm really excited. I'm counting down the hours till she's gonna get here. So you were so high for so many days. And now she's gone. And now you're chemically lower.
Tart.
But it's fine. You'll even out by Wednesday. We'll even out in a couple days.
Hi guys, welcome to the newest episode of We Should Date with Dana and I and Mark. He's still married.
And Michael is Sav.
Wait, okay. There was one other. You do that thing with dating too. Someone just called me.
I do what thing with dating?
Or with you you don't listen.
He's just saying things to fill in the silence right now.
No,
Just
because
hear
you
I'm very present. I listen.
you also listen to wait for you to speak.
I don't do that.
Mark.
I'm very present and I listen to everyone.
I will say that all 3 of us do that.
Nice way of agreeing with me. I appreciate that. I hear you. I see you, and I value your friendship. And I like that we respectfully teamed up and went against it right there. And I like it a lot. And therefore, for this episode, it's a tie game, 1-1.
You
Because I
understand
lost the
this
first
is-
battle up top for sure.
You lost the whole first 40 minutes.
I
I am very attracted to you when you're like this.
really.
Yeah,
I
you're
am
like
attracted to you
softer and
when-
more emotional, and it's really
I've
sweet.
you know what I've done, which is so Mark originally, and I'm gonna toot my own horn.
if you
for
were
a
like
second.
this all the time, I would want to date
I'm
you.
gonna toot my own horn. The original attraction Mark had to me was the way I was doing stand up, was like rapid fire, improv-y, in between jokes. I in the last couple of months have slowed down a lot on stage, and it was a little harder for me up top, and it wasn't as fun, and I wasn't getting the crowd rolling as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I am slowing it down and now getting them rolling again by just kind of really taking my time on stage and having some beats and bringing more of this. And it's kind of
Hey,
something
yo.
I learned from like Ian Edwards. If you look at Ian Edwards has a video out there when he was probably like in his 20s, like it was early 90s.
Is it
And he's
black
got-
white?
It's almost in black and white. He's
How
got
old is
lo-
Ian Edwards?
It's like-
No one
He's
knows.
probably like 52, but he's like
Really?
he's older. Yes, but if I'm 40, yeah. Now that I think about it, like I remember he was like 48 when I was 26, but either way,
He's like 60 or 50. It doesn't
He's
matter.
it doesn't matter.
basically
The
a
point is, there's a
vampire.
video out there of him in long dreads
He
in
doesn't
New York,
age.
and he's just high energy. Boy, what's up,
No.
New York? Yeah, just crazy, and it's a
Ian
180.
Edwards.
It's a 180 to what he is today. He lets the writing kill for him, and I used to
He's the
let the
best joke
energy kill
writer.
for me, and I'm letting the writing sit there more, and I'm writing better tags and stuff like that. And so I like it. So yes, I could get to this and see I am here and I can be this version. I just have to work at it. Do I take out the beginning of the episode? I don't like you guys tell me, was it really bad?
No, you leave it in.
Oh yeah. Okay. So it wasn't that bad. Thank you. That's all I
No.
needed from him. See, why couldn't you give me that?
Because Michael, you have an idea. You get this idea in your head of how you want the show to go, and then you just take over. And if no one's really on board, because we're not in your head, so we don't know like what's going on. If we're not on board, then you get frustrated and you get really mad, and
Yeah.
and then you exert your energy and your anger, and that's how you started this episode. And you've done that before, and it's like you can't get upset with us. We're not in your. We don't know what's going on in
Well, that's
Lenochi
why
land.
in the middle of the
Yeah.
episode, I was like, well, why don't you just bring us back to the beginning? Who are you talking about? What did you do? What did she say? Like,
Sometimes
you're
it's
starting
like,
us in like, sometimes in the middle of the second act.
Yeah, because I think he thinks we're like can read his mind a little bit.
I mean, Dana, we did sit on the phone and discuss what the episode was going to be about, so you knew.
We didn't discuss the whole beginning of like the conversation you wanted to have.
No, but like when we were having that, it was a little frustrating that you're like you were dismissing it and like let's move on from this. I'm like, wait, we have a valuable topic here that I think is relatable that we should actually grab it.
Can you
at this
act like this all the
opportunity.
time? This is so nice.
I just think that I will say this. I still stand on the first thing up top. I think we got to grab those opportunities.
Okay.
Because I thought it was. What did you just say?
I said okay.
Like in a dismissive
No,
way?
I didn't. I said okay.
Are you pissing me off?
Oh no! wait,
Here
we're
he
gonna-
is.
We're gonna go full
Oh!
circle.
Oh!
We're gonna end how we started.
Why did you just say it's okay? I think
Um,
that sometimes we have to identify the fact that he was okay with dismissing people, and that's not healthy for relationships.
Well, it's not healthy for a relationship, but it's
But
kind
who-
of how I. Sometimes I just like to dismiss things and move on. I don't have the time to talk about it.
Who?
All right.
Oh, hey, what's up, Diana?
I don't.
Hey, Diana, nice to meet you.
I don't have the time. That's a little more
I
Sebastian.
would be attracted to you if you talked like that.
You would?
Yeah, give me more.
Sometimes people think I can just sit around all day. This is a bad Sebastian. What are you doing? Sebastian Maniscalco. Aren't you
Sebastian, what?
Maniscalco.
What was it?
Aren't you embarrassed? What does he do? At the airport with no shoes on? And I can see your toes?
Soft eyes.
I can see the lint inside of your toenails? It's disgusting. What is he too. He goes, I love him. I love Sebastian. Can I tell you something about stand-up comedy this weekend for me?
Yes.
I slowed down on my shows and I really let myself be present and be with my jokes and allowed myself to just riff off the joke. And shit changes when you're just so, I just felt so comfortable. It's because I've done these shows a million times. And at the end of the day, I'm like,
That's
whatever.
that's the difference between the pros. Like you get to see them.
I've done
just
these shows
comfortable.
so many times that I was like, I almost treated it like I was just like hanging out with my friends. Like, hey, that's how it felt.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's good.
anyways,
She was funny this weekend.
I talked about my dead dad a lot on stage and it was really good.
Oh.
/
Oh.
a little depressing.
Cut to a fly on the wall at that show, just crickets. And she's like, it was great. And she's like,
Everyone left crying. It was amazing. No one laughed.
I used to do that my dead dog bit, and it was rough when I first started doing it.
I remember.
And I never was able to get it 100%.
Yeah, Michael, because no one wants to laugh at their dog dying. It's too sad.
I would get it. I would kill sometimes with it. Sometimes it wouldn't.
You guys, if you're listening on Apple, leave us 5 stars.
She really wants to push Apple, and she's worried that Apple numbers aren't up yet. And I go, it's going to take time. There's millions of podcasts. They'll find it. Each episode's growing.
We're going to be on Facebook.
Huh?
We're going to start a Facebook page. We're going to be on Facebook, so you can find us on.
Like the full length episode.
Let's just add some clips on Facebook.
I have
Mark's-
clips on Facebook. On my
Mark
own page.
suggested.
But you want full episodes on Facebook, you mean?
Why
If you want to leave a voicemail, call 909.
On the actual Facebook, there will be a Facebook page called We Should Date, you're saying? Oh, interesting.
Okay, let's.
Wait,
Oh, I'm
has
sorry.
anybody left a voicemail yet? That's not either one of
Well,
you.
this week's episode that's out right now is
Yeah.
the first episode we've
We've
promoted the
never
number.
promoted the phone number.
Okay, so
okay.
you did your own.
So this is the third episode now with the because last week we were talking about the voice notes.
Okay, and I will say the number and no one will interrupt me. You guys can call 909-616-1295. That's 909-616-1295. Call and leave a voicemail. Anything you want. If you want to queef, if you want to fart, if you want to just say, hey, what's up? Yeah, we want to hear from you. We want to hear all of it. Dating stories or not dating stories.
I saw a clip of Hannah because we talked about her last week, and she looks really pretty.
She's so pretty and she's so funny. I have a writing session with her tonight.
Wait,
She's
who?
here.
Hannah
Is she in LA?
You love Hannah.
I think I like her.
Yeah, she's New York. We have writing. We
But
write.
she's so you're gonna talk on the phone.
Yeah, we Zoom.
When is she gonna be out here next? Because I actually think I would like her
On the show?
her and Tom to do panelists on the dating show.
Who's Tom?
Or Chad Kroger.
I'll let you know. And
He said yes already. And I go, oh, I think it would be great with Hannah. You're friends with her, right?
Mhm.
And he'd be like, oh yeah, because like who would be a good girl for him to
yeah,
have on there?
they have a
Their
good.
friendship. So I go, oh, I would whenever if she's gonna be in, or if she would come in town that week, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
What was that?
Okay, well, thank you guys so much.
And then
for
but also you got Jason Nash coming on.
Michael.
What's his name?
Michael is doing business administration.
Well,
while we're
why would I
live.
not promote it on a dating podcast?
Jason Nash and Naveen Nash are going to
gonna-
be
On the Bucket Dating Show at Jam in the Band,
Yes.
April 5th.
April 5th.
This episode will come out that week, actually.
Great.
So if you're in
In
LA,
LA.
this weekend, come see them. And I just wanted to confirm, like, you know her well, so I have to like
Yeah,
reach out, and they're booked already.
I would confirm. She's she's gorgeous and she's funny, and obviously Jason Nash is like a big YouTuber. He's hilarious. They're going to be really fun.
Awesome.
So it's a fun show. If you live in LA and you're single, get on
And
the
you want to
dating.
participate?
Yeah, get on.
It's at Jam
Put your
in the
name in the
Band.
bucket.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like we grew a lot, and I feel okay. I feel a little bit better. I can't wait to watch it back and really maybe tease it with me calm in the beginning so that people are like, what the hell's going on? Poor Dana, we got to save her. Which
Mhm.
I think you guys,
Story of my life, though.
you should see how she talks to me on the phone.
Shut up!
Sorry.
What did I say? Thank you guys for watching and listening and living and laughing and loving.
Mark, how do you feel?
Ready for it to be over.
Dude, that's the most hurtful thing I've heard all week.
It's dragged on. We're 5 minutes over.
That's fine. All right, can we have a kiss?
Yeah, we don't need a kiss. We need a hug.